in this hillside picking blackberries on a hot summer's day when she noticed a cool breeze. Now, usually a breeze would come from the sky, but the one she felt seemed to be coming from the ground. That made her curious, and as she explored the area, she noticed that breeze was coming up out of a hole in the ground. She had no idea what she'd found or what was in the hole, and decided she did not want to go down there by herself. Instead, she went to get her two older brothers. Upon their return, they took one of the fallen cedar trees that covers this hill, chopped off the branches, fashioned it into a crude ladder, and then took that tree and rolled it off into the hole. But upon seeing that tree drop down 29 feet, the brothers decided they didn't want any part of it and sent the little sister in by herself anyhow. Now, luckily, she came back up. People have enjoyed the cave ever since. Now, over the years, the cave passed through both members of the Lively and the Crump families, who primarily used it for food storage, since we didn't have refrigeration until modern years, okay? But in 1921, a local dentist of the Horse Cave area, Dr. Harry Thomas, had a different idea in mind. He wanted to commercialize the cave. He immediately purchased the cave in 1921 upon its going up for sale, started work on it, and by 1922, we opened up for our first public tour. Now, folks, once we enter the cave, there are a few things that we have to keep in mind. First and foremost, we have 144 steps of all different shapes and all different sizes. Now, most of those are going to be wet, and they can be slick depending on your footwear, especially if you have on flip-flops, sandals, or Crocs. We ask that you use caution as you walk throughout the cave, and please remain on the walkways at all times. Now, we also have a couple of low-hanging formations in there, and I'll warn you ahead of time where those are at. It's much more entertaining if I don't, but it's too early to think about paperwork yet, so you're going to get some warnings. First place you need to watch for is a ledge right inside the door to the left as we enter. Last but not least, our cave is what we call an active cave, which means that we are still in the process of forming. Due to that, we ask that you do not touch anything besides the handrails where they're provided, otherwise doing so will damage the cave. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am. You want to make sure to remain on your right-hand side here. We have a couple formations to cover the steps on the left that you need to watch out for.
It says, leave things like
I'm so excited.
One of the first things that we're going to be able to notice as you come down through this area is a large hole that will be in the roof of the cave. That is the natural entrance that Martha Woodson came through back in 1799. The entrance that we just came through was carved out in 1924 by Dr. Thomas to allow easier access into the cave. How many of you are thankful for Dr. Thomas this morning? I'm right there with you guys.
I'd love to do that.
Now, another thing that we have down here in this area, underneath the natural entrance to your left, would be an old moonshine still that used to belong to a famous Kentucky outlaw called Wild Bill Skaggs. Moonshining was an illegal activity, which meant that the moonshiners didn't want to get caught. They tried to hide their stills to avoid detection. With over 2,000 caves here in Hart County alone, a lot of the local moonshiners hide those operations underground, making them near impossible to find. All right, folks, we are going to move ahead again a little bit. Remember, please watch your step.